What's up, ladies and germs? So it's Michael with One Mic Out, and it's been a minute since I've done one of these. Apologies, I've been a little busy doing, life stuff in terms of kind of reacclimating, being back stateside, as well as trying to just have a little bit of fun and that decompression stuff. And you know how that all goes. But anyway, in the midst of all that, here we are once again, almost 1 year after the toilet paper apocalypse that we had a year ago in this country due to all the COVID scares and all that kind of crap. Now we have the gas apocalypse. So here we are. I'm in the Panhandle, Florida. So I'm just as affected as almost everyone else on the East Coast, all the way to Texas. But then it looks like this thing has spread even further than the pipeline that supplies all of our oil. So here we are. If anything, I was thinking if these sorts of events prove anything, it's that we do not have a shortage of absolute morons. Like, this country is a hotbed for morons, just moronic people who act ridiculous. These are the people who would be shitty investors. These are the people who would panic sell, or they don't know, they wouldn't know when to buy. They wouldn't buy, in the dips, if you will, and then they wouldn't sell high. They'll wait until, oh no, I'm losing everything, I got to sell now. And then everything goes back up, and obviously that's a Dogecoin reference to everything going on with that. But those are those people that would be horrible at that. And that's why those types of people, if you look at who they are, unfortunately, those are your lower moronic class people, in terms of the people that don't want to look for ways of helping themselves to get to a better class. Those are the people who want to feed off the system. The people who are perpetuating this thing, they're the ones who have the million gas cans. I mean, you've seen the videos and you've seen the pictures of people doing it in plastic bags and milk cartons, or milk jugs, and in like, Rubbermaid, storage bin cartons and things like that. That's just how moronic this thing has gotten. Where people just, the moment the media pushed it out that there was going to be a shortage, or that the moment that scare was pushed, like, everyone just started hoarding gas. And it's all for an agenda. The agenda is, it just went out today, whatever the energy secretary, or secretary of energy is his name, of the U.S. that Biden appointed, she said, well, if everyone drove an electric car, they wouldn't have to worry about this. As if she forgets that the electricity that's, created, that goes into those batteries, those lithium batteries, so the lithium mined batteries, are the majority of it is diesel fueled generators that create the electricity, fuel. So people don't understand, like, in order to have that electricity, you have to mine lithium. And how do you mine lithium? These big gas guzzling, fuel guzzling, diesel guzzling machines. And then they're flying them all over the world. It's causing even more of a carbon footprint. And then how do you create electricity? It's not, I'm telling you, wind creates that much electricity. The sun, solar creates that much electricity. It's going to be your diesel. It's going to be your coal. That's going to be your predominant electricity creating mediums. And they don't just want to think that far. But because you bring that up and they get mad. But anyway, here we are in the state of Florida, and we're like checkered with, like, this gas station has no pumps. This other gas open. This gas station has like 3 pumps open. This one has whatever. So, I went out and bought, I'm like, well, shit, falling victim to it, because it's a domino effect. I went out and bought some toilet paper and some water just in case, because that seems to be the next thing to go. But I just love these events because they perpetuate, they show us, they manifest and bring to light who the morons are. And we can just sit back and be entertained. But there was no hurricane. It was a cyber hack that apparently hacked into the pipeline cybersecurity and was able to fuck with it. The company had to pay a ransom of $5 million just last week to these hackers that were threatening to destabilize the pipeline, and they paid them the $5 million, and they still did it. Which goes to show you that Again, if that can be hacked, then why not an election? I think we're starting to see more and more. I mean, I haven't had not one person give me, and here we are. I mean, we're almost 6 months into the presidency, and a lot of people would be like, "Well, wait a minute, it's only 6 months." But hey, Trump wasn't given that leeway, so I'm not going to afford the same leeway to President Biden. I want someone to tell me, if you can, name one good thing that President Biden and his administration have done. Because right now, what we're seeing is taxes have gone up, fuel prices have gone up, cost of living has gone up. People don't want to be, people aren't working, so jobs have, joblessness has gone up. The crisis at the border has gotten much, much worse. You have China that's building up. China has, again, they've poured more concrete since 2013 to now than the entire planet, excluding them, since the advent of concrete. That should tell you something. Russia, they're throwing troops on Ukrainian borders and whatnot. Iran, Ahmadinejad is getting ready to run again for I believe for the president or prime minister. All these countries, they all feel emboldened that they can act and do this, and it's all because of Biden. But people hated mean tweets, and so, like, as we've seen, like, at least you're not getting mean tweets, I guess. So you don't have to look at President Trump's tweets anymore. But you do get to pay $4, $5, $6 a gallon gas. You get to pay more in taxes. National security, there we go. And we're trying to disarm law-abiding citizens, all while they've caught multiple Iranians trying to cross the southern border into the U.S., who have ties to states of terror. It's just a mess. It's a hot mess. And then you have a president who clearly has Alzheimer's, clearly has dementia, is clearly losing it. And we're all supposed to believe that he received more votes than any other president in history. I guess that's what happens when you even get the dead people to vote for you. So, I mean, that might be, if that's the case, then I guess we got to believe that, because maybe he did. Maybe all those dead people, posthumously were able to vote. Anyway, it's craziness, all that kind of stuff going on in the world. But that's just that's the world we live in, and I get to sit back, as you do as well, and just choose to kind of just watch it all kind of just break into chaos, because there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing you can truly do about it. It is too big. We have seen it's not white privilege. It's not any privilege. It's rich privilege. It's the elite privilege. You've seen where big corporations were allowed to stay in business, while small mom and pop businesses were told to shut the fuck up and color. You're going to close. But we've already seen elitism is a thing, and they're the ones who are privileged, and their agenda is being carried out right in front of everybody's eyes. And we just get to sit there and watch it. I'm telling you right now, there is nothing we can do unless there is the only thing that could stop it, in my opinion, is an ELE, an extinction level event, in all honesty, because what's truly going to stop it? I can't stop it. You can't stop it. If anyone, even President Trump, couldn't stop it, who's a billionaire, who ran for president, who became president, who was in office for 4 years, and even he couldn't stop. He tried, and he did a damn good job, but it still wasn't enough. They were able to come back and steal the presidency. They were able to regain control, and so. At the end of the day, there's really not much that any of us can do. And I don't mean to be like, a Debbie Downer with it, or like a bearer of bad news or whatnot, but what could we do? I mean, there's a million hypotheticals, to keep my guns, we'll all band together and go to war. No, we won't. That's never going to happen if you don't have enough ammo. I don't care who you are, it's still regulated. The government is still telling you how much you can buy and what you can buy. They still are. Look how they can shut down a pipeline. Governor of Michigan is trying to, or of Minnesota is trying to, or Michigan, I want to say, Minnesota or Michigan, one of the two, is trying to shut down a pipeline coming from Canada down south, just because it's never, in its 67 years of existence, it's never had one leak or anything that is happened environmentally. And now, just because a bunch of environmentalists are saying, "Oh, but it could," they're going to shut it down, or they're telling the Canadian company to shut it down, which is going to cause more prices to go. There's an agenda. There's an agenda, and so what I'm meaning by that is the government, they'll come in and they could, they can throw all sorts of shit around to say, hey, nope, companies, you can't make this much ammo, or you can't do this, you can't do that, yada yada yada. Gets caught up in the courts and blah blah blah, and it creates a shortage, which then drives prices up and makes the availability nil. And now, you can see where I'm going with it. Third and fourth order effects of things. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, there is nothing that can be done unless the party that is in control has some fucking epiphany that we need to turn over a new leaf, change course, and be right by the people. But they don't want to. As long as they keep everyone appeased, as long as they keep everybody comfortable, they own you. You are literally a slave to them, to the government. And there's nothing we can do about it. Facebook, they're censoring everybody. They're kicking you off if you say stuff they don't want you to say. And that's the big thing this day and age is social media. Without social media, people are going nuts about it. I mean, I'm telling you, what like, I'll pose that question. What is there? What can be done to change things other than vote? Well, we could just get everyone to vote the right way. Well, that's not working. It's not working because it has to be something quick. It has to be something decisive. It has to be fast, expedited. It can't be the slow trickle, because what we've seen, it's this thing. It's a slow trickle. You might have different districts that might turn red and flip flop, but the overall power shift the pendulum has swung so far to the left, and that power is so much theirs that what can truly be done other than getting caught up in a legitimate World War type conflict that just decimates whoever's involved. I'm telling you, this is just progression of civilization. I think this is just the way in which things are going, and it's shitty to say because I hate that, because it's going the wrong way. But how do you change that? How do you then change the direction of that pendulum? How do you get it coming back the other way? Because right now it's just going infinitely in the left direction, and there's nothing to stop it. So that's just my little take on things right now. So yeah, my overhead question is, what can be done about it? What truly can be done about it? What shock and awe thing could happen right now that could potentially change course of that pendulum? So, it's craziness. But anyway, so we're about one mic out, and that's really what I want to know. I really want to know what your thoughts are on that, the gas shortage, how it's kind of a representation of how the media can and propaganda kind of does work, that psyop does work against us. What in your mind, what could be done to change all that? Like a literal, no kidding, logical solution to getting that pendulum to start swinging back this way, to the right way. So anyway, that's just my thoughts for the day, but it's good to see you all again, and I'll get this back up and going, I promise. And summer's here, we're having fun as well. So anyway, we'll talk to you all next time, but this is Michael with One Mic Out, and I hope you all have a good one.